for the tube. Hi, tube. Oh,
What
yeah,
up, tube?
perfect timing.
Hello,
Perfect timing. My bad.
No worries.
All right, here we go. And for the pod, in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to another episode of Business Bros. What up, ladies and gentlemen? Hernan Cias here, host of the Business Bros podcast, on location at Las Pinches Tortas with my co-host.
The insurance bro, James C.S. with Pipeline Insurance.
And who do we got today, Ham?
Oh, man. The greatest salesman in the world. Not just the salesman, not just your best top dog real estate agent, but also a restaurateur.
Dude.
And what can I say? Here at Las Pinches Tortas, the man, the myth, the legend, the owner,
Pancho Lopez.
Pancho Lopez.
Francisco Pancho, the greatest salesman in the world. Self-proclaimed.
Self-proclaimed, but living up to the name.
Right?
Thank you, man.
I mean,
Appreciate it.
it's one thing to be really good at selling cars. It's another thing to be really good at selling houses. And then you dive into the restaurant business, dude. Like, that's...
Yeah.
The restaurant business is the riskiest business to get into.
It is.
And this is in your first round.
No. We actually started when we bought our first place a long time ago. I was 20 years old. My wife was 18.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a long time ago, and we failed miserably.
Yeah, but best experience ever.
And it was a great experience. And then we just said, okay, let's not do that again.
Yeah.
And then we did it again in 2010. And that's been open since 2010. It's been a good little run with that. It's a juice bar, small juice bar. Excited today. We actually signed a lease to expand that one, and we're doubling up in size for that one. But then recently, this is what we're about, right? Las Pinches Tortas. Super, super cool new business that we opened up the doors about.
Can you do that again and
ago.
hold it a little bit closer to your face?
Sure. Right here.
Move it.
Or like that. Boom.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
Right there.
Right there.
Right
Boom.
there. Got it.
Producers.
Yeah. That is Las Pinches Tortas.
So I mean, how did this place even come about? Like, I mean, you've ventured in a couple things. How does one just decide I'm gonna open a restaurant? Like, how did it happen for you?
So again, we have the other restaurant, the little the juice bar, which I shouldn't call it little. It's been a great little business for a long time. It's just we've always seen it kind of like a small business, you know.
Yeah.
Nothing amazing, but it's been a good run. Very loyal business. About I want to say 3 years ago, I was hit up and I was in an opportunity to open up another restaurant in Barrio Logan, actually. Ooh. So 3 years ago, we started working on this particular project in Barrio Logan, and we had the whole concept about making it like a torta place. And we started working on the concept and the branding and the different menu items and all these things. But that place went nowhere very fast. It was just very challenging to get it open for a number of reasons. And it's still there. The opportunity's still there, and it might open someday. But there's just been so many things to even dive into right now because it would bore the heck out of people. But just to give you an idea, it's been problems with the city, it's been problems with investors, it's been all kinds of issues, right? So not too long ago, and this was totally unplanned, honestly, we were in a position that we were very comfortable with the real estate business. My real estate business has been booming. It's been doing amazingly well for the last few years. So the last thing on my mind was to get into another restaurant off location or different from anything that we were planning already.
Shifts, right? Yeah.
But then all of a sudden I get a call from a buddy of mine, and they're like, you know what? There's this restaurant over here that's going under. They are shutting it down. There's a lot of back rents owed and stuff like that. But there might be a good opportunity. So I came over, spoke to the previous owner, and we negotiated some terms. And I looked at it, and I'm like, man, this place has a lot of potential. It's just so big, and it has it has capacity for like 90 people, right? The location is nice and clean, and it's plenty of parking, and it's in the right area, and there's residential and there's commercial. And I'm thinking, man, this place has potential. This can work, right? And then spoke over my wife, and we talked about it, and it was like, hey, you know, we could
remember that torta idea?
Yeah, I remember that we were talking about and all this stuff. What about opening up over there, right? And we both agreed that it was a stupid idea. You know, we both agreed that it's like,
so
man,
naturally you did it.
Yeah, exactly. And it was really weird because I actually remember I was filming another episode for one of my podcasts, and I remember sitting there and talking about the power of making decisions fast, right? And the importance of just following your gut.
Shoot, worry about the ready aim later.
Yes, and we said, you know what? Shit, it's a good opportunity. You know, I wanted to buy a boat, and instead we said, you know what? Forget the boat, forget these other things. Let's just dive into this. It's a good opportunity. We've already been through this before, and we know the mistakes and the issues and the things, the errors to not make. I think we can just go for it, you know. And
so you had to sell the wife first.
No, on the contrary, she was all about it. Yeah, my wife was all about it. She was actually very excited about it. She knows how good our other juice bar has been when times have gotten rough. That business has always been, like I said, very loyal. It's always there. Not amazing. It's not like
a super killer,
you're
but
not
it's
going to be
consistent.
rich from it, but it's consistently there, very loyal. It's a beautiful little business. So because of it, she's like, you know what? I think it's something that's wonderful, because if we make it work right and we establish it and we make it work as good as the juice bar, we're going to be in a position that now we have 2 locations that are stable, loyal businesses, you know, and then you can take your other risks that you're always wanting to take. You know, I've talked to you about my coaching and journaling business that I've been working on for a long time.
Still waiting for that journal to come out.
It's going to come out. It's coming. It's just, you get distracted. You can only stretch yourself and your attention so far, you know, and it's been crazy these last few months, because when we took over the lease and we took over the location, we already had vacations planned to go to Miami. So here we are, we take the keys over, we start having to fork out rents, and we're in Miami, and this place is just shut down.
Isn't it funny,
You
though?
know,
I mean,
like-
I've had that similar experience where I'm closing escrow, and it just happens to be that I'm closing escrow when I'm out of town on
Right, yep.
vacation somewhere. And it's happened. It's like Murphy's Law. What can go wrong will go wrong,
yep,
right? And
yep.
so, all right, so you guys finally get things in motion. You decide to pull the trigger. You're
Yep.
going to open this place. Now, I'm sure it didn't look as amazing as it looks now when you first got it.
No, it had a little bit of work that needed to be done. There was a lot of electrical issues, and it's weird, man. It's like we moved in and everything was kind of operational. Everything was running. The restaurant was running. There was cooks in here. There was people being served. We take over. We open the doors. We start cleaning up, and we start working and opening the doors. Next thing you know, the hood busts. Like the hood stops working.
Of course,
you know,
perfect timing.
and perfect timing. And instead of sucking the air out, it was blowing hot air in.
Oh.
You know, and it became like this place. The whole place became like a sauna. Then we stock up. We buy all the inventory. We put it into the walk-in refrigerator. That shit stops working, and it starts overheating. It spoils all the food. There goes like $3,000 worth of inventory to the trash, right? Because it spoiled everything.
Yeah,
you can't serve it anymore. That's it. It's done. Next thing you know, all of a sudden it starts smelling like somebody died in here, and it's the plumbing. There's a plumbing issue, and it was just getting backed up, so we got to do that. So it's just like one thing after another, like, what the heck, you know, like this is nuts.
Yeah.
But you roll with the punches.
You have to.
You just roll
By
with the
this
punches.
point, you're in.
At that point, you're committed. You said, okay, I'm gonna take the action. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in. We're gonna go ahead and do this, and it's been actually a really cool run. The most exciting thing I can tell you about this whole thing is the creative side of it. Sitting down at the kitchen counter and just putting out our notepads and putting ink to paper and going into the ideas of what we were going to serve. What are we going to serve in terms of the menu items? Because we wanted to make, you know me for a while now. Like we've talked a lot about business and a lot about other things. And I think you know that I'm very big in the whole social media marketing thing.
Oh, yeah, huge.
I believe it is the way to make business grow. Mm-hmm. What is the best way to increase social media exposure? It needs to be genuine. It needs to be it's word of mouth at a 10x level, right?
Right. The whole share thing is word of mouth concept.
Exactly. How do you incentivize people to sharing something on social media?
Fun, creative, genuine.
Make it extreme, right? Mm-hmm. So we said, okay, we have to come up with a menu that is fun, creative, extreme. And we said, okay, let's make milkshakes. All right, these milkshakes are going to be freaking nuts, right? We're going to freaking put things hanging out of them and coming out from the top and just very creative things that we can't find anywhere. So
extravagance.
Extravagance. So we Googled a lot of the things that we were coming up with, and if we saw that somebody already had it, we wouldn't put it. We're like, okay, it has to be super unique. And we started doing that. And we started with the tortas. So we got 21 tortas, right? 21 different tortas, and these tortas are pretty unique and special. And I'm going to have them bring over a couple right now, and we'll break them down so you can give yourself an idea of what I'm talking about.
All right.
But yeah.
But this is what's happening at home now, right?
This happened at home.
So
yeah.
now you've bought in. You're doing this business. You got to come up with your menu.
Yep.
This is the conversations that you're having at home.
At home.
At the kitchen table
Yep.
while you're eating dinner with
Yep.
the kids there.
Yep.
So like even they are involved in all of this, right?
100%. In fact, I'm glad you brought it up. The name. So the name, as you guys know, is Las Pinches Tortas, right? Las Pinches Tortas is, you know,
double
yeah. It's got, so pinches could be a bad word in Spanish. It could be frickin', you know, like the frickin' tortas or whatever. But everybody's like, how'd you get away with that? Or are you gonna not get in trouble for it or whatever? I'm like, no, because pinche in Spanish means the cook's assistant. Right? So the cook's assistant came up with all our recipes.
If you have to explain it, there's
if
an
I have to
explanation
explain it,
Yeah.
and you have so many issues. Funny little side story here. Recently, we had a client come over here and tell us, look, what's happening at the Nextdoor app. You know the Nextdoor app where people talk about the neighborhood? So this one particular person went on the Nextdoor app and said, obscene new restaurant opened up in El Cajon.
Thank you for the publicity.
Dude, it went crazy. Like everybody's like, man, that sounds awesome. That sounds pretty cool. That sounds great. And everybody started bashing on that guy so bad that he was like talking smack about the bad word that it ended up backfiring him, and they ended up deleting the post completely. But it was sucked because I wanted to go on there to just comment like, I'm the owner. Come check it out. You know, like you know me, I won't run away from stuff like that. I'm like,
but that's exactly that was the point, right?
Yep.
I mean, in the name, you knew that would grab attention, just like you were talking about on social media.
Absolutely.
Everything you do, everything you're doing, from the milkshakes to the tortas, it's all attention grabbing. It's
the logo.
The logo.
Yeah.
I mean, everything. I mean, hence the greatest salesman in the world.
Thank you, man.
Right? I mean, if you've ever watched any of your videos when it comes to real estate or anything, they're all bizarre, unique. One of my favorite ones is old now, but one of my favorite ones was the urinal confession.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I mean, I still to this day tell people about that story because that was hilarious and that was genuine. And that was just you having fun at a particular moment in time.
Yep.
But
Taking a pee,
right? It's something we all do.
Yeah.
And we might have confessionals at the urinal. But
that sure was funny.
But that personality trait is what I see when in your family. Like, you know, when I met your wife or your kids, they're all kind of the same way. Your kids are funny in the sense that they're a little bit different. They're pieces of you, but not all of them are all like you.
They're all very unique in their own way. What's really cool about it is that they're none of them are afraid to be themselves. Mm-hmm. That's what I really like about my boys, man. They're very in their own way, just them.
Yeah.
You know, my oldest has almost 70,000 followers on TikTok because of how funny he is, and he's just very quirky and just weird, you know. And
but he's comfortable in his skin.
But he's comfortable. He doesn't care. He does whatever he wants. And then about the name, also, I want to bring up that how we came up with the name. You were mentioning like you're all in together and family or whatever. I was actually not there for this conversation. I was selling houses. And which, by the way, is my number one priority. I'm always like there. That's my thing, you know. And then my wife was with the kids and is like, hey, you know what, guys? We're talking about opening up this torta restaurant. Give us some ideas. We're trying to come up with a creative name for it. And my 12-year-old, he's 12, going on 15. You know, like he's at that age and is like, like whatever, you know. Like, I want to go play video games, or I don't want to be here, or whatever, right? But he says, Las Pinches Tortas. Right? And my wife's like, that sounds great. Yeah. So she calls me up.
That's idea.
Yeah. She calls me up and is like, hey, Sebastian just said Las Pinches Tortas. What do you think? I'm like, man, I love it. Yes, roll with it, right?
So
next thing you know,
where a kid would normally get in trouble, you're like, make it an icon.
Yeah. I was like, this is awesome. So we start working on designing the logo. We put it all together. We start creating the signs and the menus and all this stuff. Like 3 weeks later, he comes over to us. He's like, I was just joking. Like I didn't think they were gonna go for it.
I wanted to go play my games. That's all.
So we got to give him credit, man. He's the one that came up with the Pinches Tortas name.
That's amazing, though. But you know, I love the fact that you and your family are a team. Like you guys do everything
100%.
like together. There's no hidden, you come up with an idea and this one does it over here or whatever. You guys work together as a team, and it shows. Like each of you has a different piece of creativity that goes into this stuff, whether it's the name or the logo or the food. So tell me a little bit about like the different food aspects or the different stuff, what was the process like in choosing what you were going to do?
So first of all, this is pretty funny actually. Hold on a second. Marta. Marta. She can't hear me. All right, I wanted her to bring
Speaking to the mic louder, she'll hear you.
Yeah, right. So hopefully I can grab her attention right now and have her bring some tortas or something. But so we wanted to make the menu very simple, right? We wanted to be like, I'm a big fan of In-N-Out's business model.
Yeah,
I think
2 or 3.
I think In-N-Out is freaking genius in every way, in the way they treat their customers, the way they have their menu, the way their employees are trained, every little thing, everything is a perfect process, right? So I'm like, hey, you know what? I want to model this. So let's make our menu simple, right? So then we go into the creative part and we start putting things together. Next thing you know, we have a menu that looks like this. You know, like, like there's no lack of creativity here.
No.
You know, like
so
shit.
much for simplicity.
So yeah, forget simplicity. There's just too much good stuff. We'll put it all on there, and then whatever works, and whatever doesn't, we'll eliminate, right? So for example, we have a couple of really weird things, and I got to give full credit to the wife on this. She came up with like 95% of this menu,
she had
right?
been dreaming some of this stuff up.
She was just coming up with all this stuff over and over and over, and she kept on bringing up ideas. And like, what about this? And what about this? And I helped with the names. Like, I'm like, okay, let's name it that, and let's that. I think that's a good idea.
She flavored it. You named it.
And then, so for example, one of them that we have, which is very particular, is called the burritorta.
Burritorta.
Okay, burritorta.
So it's like what it sounds like.
It sounds what it's like. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's basically potato and chorizo burrito inside a carne asada and bean torta.
Oh.
Right? So, and it's this massive sandwich, but the flavors just work so well. Like we had it made. We toasted the bread. We put it in there. We freaking cut it up. Took a couple of bites. We're like, damn. Have you
been doing any of those, like, this is how you make it videos?
No, we're actually going to start doing that. We're going to do once a week. We're going to do a video like a torta breakdown. Like every week, we're going to do we're going to feature a different torta just for less than a minute. Just really quickly go over all the ingredients and everything that's on there and all that stuff. So that way, it's going to be able to. All right, she saw me finally. Yeah.
It's one of those.
Oh, they're actually bringing it over. Cool.
Boom.
Those are ours. Very cool.
Dude, well, those things look massive, by the way.
Yeah, they're pretty
huge
massive.
Tortas.
Yes, these are no joke. Oh, you actually made the burritorta. Perfect.
Oh, okay, exactly what we were talking about.
Exactly what we were talking about. So here we go.
Holy moly.
So this guy here is the cubana. So this has 3 different types of meat, right? This is milanesa, which is breaded steak, ham, and pork loin in adobo sauce.
Oh,
so it's like shredded pork loin with the milanesa, with the ham, melted cheese, avocados, and the tomatoes and the onions. Right.
My mouth is watering just talking about
it. The biggest thing about this whole thing is the actual bread itself is a very unique bread. We have it specially made for us. It's a little bit extra crunchy on the outside, very soft on the inside, and we take out most of the inside of the bread. We leave kind of like just a layer of the bread, so it's not overwhelming on the bread.
You're not filling up on bread.
Exactly. You know, trying to just carb cutting. You know, it's important nowadays. This is like the healthy alternatives to lunch. And then this guy here, this is the burritorta that I was talking about. See? So I don't know what camera we're on right here. Oh, that one? Okay, cool. So let me put it right there. There it is. So this guy here is the burritorta. So you can see there the burrito inside the carne asada torta. I mean, and we're gonna take a bite out of it. We have to get you on camera taking a bite out of one of these just to try it. Just
I see all those shows on TV like where they try stuff. Dude, that thing is massive.
Yeah, that's what she said.
You dropped it. That's funny.
I had to, man.
That's so funny. My 9-year-old's been saying it. He's been saying it all wrong, but that's okay.
Yeah. Right. It's better that they do it wrong.
Yeah, it's totally better to do it wrong.
We're gonna have to take your mic out here for a minute, and you need to take a bite out of this thing and I want you to please be 100% honest with what you think as far as the flavors go, and squish it. You gotta have to squish that thing. Yeah.
I got a big mouth. All right, here we go.
All right, go for it.
You guys
Let's
ready?
see. perfect. That's a great bite, by the way.
God.
Damn.
All right. I love the chorizo part of it.
Yep.
You can taste the avocado. Cool.
Yep. I'm telling you,
Carne
this
asada,
shit
like,
works.
mixed in perfect. Oh my god. Is there cheese in there too?
Yes. Yeah,
Oh
there's
my
the melted
gosh.
cheese. You can actually see it here. And then there's a chipotle aioli sauce.
Oh.
Chipotle aioli. So you
my
get the
gosh.
chipotle aioli sauce.
I see what
the
you mean though,
avocado.
like the nice soft crunch texture to it.
Yep.
Dude,
Yep.
that makes. Oh my gosh. You guys gotta
So-
come try this.
We're gonna
This is
so
something
we're gonna get a chance to be off camera in a little bit and enjoy them as well, you know. So
I'm gonna put on a few pounds here.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna put on a few pounds here. Oh my gosh, that one is really good.
It is. It really does work. The flavors, like, it's not just about making it crazy and just so that people can take pictures of it. Because, and be honest with me, if you were to be going to a restaurant and you buy this and they put it in front of you, don't you feel like, damn, I gotta take a picture of this?
Yeah, like
Right?
Okay, so I've always said
That's-
it's one of those weird things. But I ever go if ever I went to a buffet and I would make a salad, for some reason I would make it and it looks so beautiful you don't want to eat it.
Yep.
That's what these look like. They look like masterpieces. Like you're afraid to take a bite because you're gonna ruin how beautiful they look. But that's part of that. To me, that's part of the restaurant business, right? When you plate something.
It's about plating. It's about the whole process of putting it in front of somebody's face and wanting to really. My wife has this way of seeing it, and she told me this about 10 years ago when we barely opened up the other place. I want to say about maybe 9 because we were already open. We had been in business for about 9 months, and I remember her telling me something that I thought was really cool that she said it. She said, you know what? She says, when people walk in and they give us their money for us to give them food in return, I feel like this massive responsibility of not letting them down.
Yes.
Because they're giving us their hard-earned, they just want to be fed.
Yes.
Food is such a magical thing in human beings.
But what you're explaining right there is like what you do in every single thing. It's the whole concept of the value that you bring to your clients, right?
100%.
This is just a different form of value. It's not just, you can you can go to different places and you can have food.
Yep.
But this is something that not only feeds your tummy, it feeds your eyes, it feeds your soul.
Yep.
You want to talk about it, you want to share the experience with other people.
Yep.
And that's the biggest difference. Same thing happens in real estate though, right?
100%.
Like if you provide that quality service in helping somebody solve their problem or create their dream, they're gonna want to share that experience.
Yep.
So, the fact that you're sharing it like that's the mindset that you're coming from is the reason why your line goes out the door.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And of
Within
course,
2 months.
Within 2 months.
Yeah.
I mean, most businesses don't have that kind of outtake. I mean, everything in this place, like I feel you've sat down and decided whether it's the red background or the brick or the green or the food, the way it's really been well thought out.
Yep.
And kudos to the greatest salesman in the world
you, man.
for
Appreciate
working
it.
that hard.
Appreciate it.
And these are all things that go behind the scenes before you even take that first dollar.
Yep. Oh, 100%. Yeah. It's something that you really. It's funny because I'm not somebody that likes to plan out things 100%, but I do set a very firm goal. So I think we've talked about this in the past, maybe over the phone or something. You and I'm not 100% sure, but I learned this a long time ago through one of the Tony Robbins business coaching programs. Instead of calling it business planning, call it business mapping. Business planning. You have to have a certain strict form of guidelines, right? Like you're going like
A to Z.
A to Z, and it's going A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Versus, I want to go from A to Z. It's okay if I go C to X to base to B to D to and just kind of go back and forth, as long as you always keep the end goal in sight and you understand that that's the end result you want.
Yeah, you're failing
Right?
forward.
Exactly. So what ends up happening is we said, okay, we want to make sure that we bring good quality food. We want to make sure that we make people super happy with the service. We want to make sure, so how are we going to implement that? So we got to have the right staff. We were very big on making sure to, when everybody that's been hired here has gone through a personality assessment. And
From cooks to
from
servers
cooks,
to everybody?
Everybody has gone through a personality assessment here, and we want to make sure that they fit the right criteria for different positions, which is really, really cool.
So in other words, you are looking for people that when they work here, you're trying to build a specific culture.
Oh, 100%. 100%. No, there's no way that we could have it any other way, because then at the end, here's the thing. The other important conversation that my wife and I had when we were talking about opening this place is that we said, listen, we have to both really, really clearly understand that we're buying a business. We're not buying a job. And I think that's super important for anybody that's thinking about opening up a business or starting their own business, to really understand and figure out a way to create a business, not a job. There are so many solopreneurs out there that basically run all the risk of the overhead, run all the risk of failing, in a business, yet they never scale and turn it into an actual business where it expands and it grows or whatnot, right? And I told her we set a time frame. We said, you know what, we're gonna give it our all. We're gonna hit hard. We're gonna freaking work our asses off for a 12-month period. For a 12-month period, we're taking this risk. I'm willing to sell 2 more houses every month in order to cover the overhead for this place while it gets up and running.
Assuming it makes zero.
Assuming it makes zero. Assuming we have to pay for all the employees and the rent and everything without having any other, no income coming in, I'm willing to put that in there. I'm willing to put my butt on the line like that, right? And I'll do it for 12 months. And in that process, we have to figure out a way to bring in the right people so that we can eventually disengage and run it as a business. Because if you run it and create it as real business with systems in place, with the right culture, with the right team, then you can scale. Then you open up a second, and a third, and a fourth. Well, you grow.
Well, that's but part of that whole building the culture within is that aspect of turnover. You're gonna have employees that come and go.
Absolutely.
But if you have a good culture, your turnover seems to be less.
Much less.
Right? People
less.
Tend to stay longer because they love coming to work every day.
Yep.
And you said you started off with the in-and-out model and it didn't work for the menu, but it sounds like it's working.
Everything else,
yeah, it's working.
Everything else,
it sounds
yes.
like it's working for the systems, right?
Yep. Everything else, as far as the systems are and this is another thing of shooting from the hip and trying to just knowing what you want at the end, but taking the risk and doing things maybe in an awkward fashion, but knowing what you want.
Your fashion.
Yeah. The Pancho fashion.
Yeah, Pancho fashion. Not to call you awkward, but you're doing it your way.
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, it's just a little bit different from what they would teach you in school. Like if you go to business school and they tell you, okay, you got to do a business plan and you got to do this before and you got to set up this, and sometimes real life doesn't necessarily work that way. We were in a position that we're already paying rent. We're already freaking having to buy materials and buy this and invest in this. I want to start opening the doors as quickly as possible. So we opened the doors without having even our whole menu complete. We opened doors without having the recipes for all of this already on a thing that employees could work out of, Now we do, but it took us 4 weeks after we opened to get to that point. But we opened, we're like, screw it, shoot from the hip, let's do it.
Boom.
And then that way we'll get feedback, and then from the feedback we can adjust and we can do all kinds. So it's not necessarily going into business for something like this. It's not necessarily the way they teach you in school to do it. But as long as, and this is something that I think is important to share with anybody out there, like I said, that's looking into opening up their own business in any industry, as long as you understand and you're willing to put in the work, the effort, sleepless nights, and have a little bit of faith in the process, you're going to get there.
Well, you have already done that. It's only been how long?
We opened up 45 days ago.
45 days ago.
Yeah.
So what can you say about what you expected and what has happened?
So I expected to have about, how can I say this? We were expected to have maybe about 30 tickets sold. 30 tickets would have equated to about maybe $500 or $600 a day in sales, something like that, to kind of help us run a little bit, but still be in the hole, be in the red. And then within the first 3 weeks, all of a sudden, people started flocking in. It was the weirdest thing because the challenge that we had at that point was that we actually didn't have
enough food.
enough employees.
Oh.
Like we were like going crazy. Like my wife was calling me, like, I need your help because I need to figure this out. And I don't want to do this, but I was there sitting around running the cash register, you know, like talking to people, and I'm like, I don't know how to do this shit, you know, like I'm not a cashier.
You're that guy. You're that guy.
But it is what it is, you know, like I had to do it, or else who else does it?
No, yeah.
Okay, so we got a couple shakes here.
Oh
Check this out.
my gosh.
Thank you. This is, thank you. Let me grab this. So this is the Nutella shake. This is our #1 bestseller as far as the shakes go.
Oh my! My
this
daughter
is
would
the Nutella
love
shake.
that thing.
And this is the gansito shake, my personal favorite. So if you've ever had a gansito, you can imagine this as like basically a frozen gansito, and you're sucking on it.
So
like it's coming through the
very
straw.
much ice cream.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love the giant straws too. By the way.
Yeah. Well, that's how you're gonna be able to get the creamy shake out of there.
Rich too.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't go shiesty on the.
No,
ice cream.
and that's the thing. Like, it's real milk. It's real. What do you call it? Sweet cream, and I don't know what the hell that
Oh
shit
my
puts
gosh,
in there.
heavy.
Yep.
So delicious. Oh yeah, my my kids are gonna love it here. They're gonna want to come here all the time. I'm gonna be like, I'm tired of hearing Las Pinches Tortas.
Yeah.
You gotta eat the tortas. You can't just go for the shakes.
Yeah, and that's the whole package. So what I tell people, because they are pretty massive, and the shakes are a meal in itself because of the heaviness of them.
Yes.
I always say, you know what, you can get a torta to split and a shake, and then that's probably a meal for like a couple, you know, or something like that. Now the other thing that we have on the menu that's pretty cool is the that's been the #1 most popular thing, and it's been super unique. We have these things called mole fries.
Mole fries.
Mole fries.
So like mole, like where you have chicken mole?
Yeah, like chicken mole. So instead of like carne asada fries, we do the pollo con mole on top of a bed of fries with melted cheese, and then we put the cream, and then we put the sesame seeds, like if it was a traditional mole plate, but with a bed of French fries. And
California
man, that shit works. It is so good. So good.
Oh my gosh.
So anyways, all these things came up, like I said, just a little bit of
Just a little creativity.
Just a little bit of creativity.
A little bit of effort and
Yep.
a little bit of thought. Oh my gosh, dude.
So you got to try this, man.
Oh.
Here.
James, you gotta
James,
try
you got to
this.
try this. Try the gansito one.
So I gotta I gotta say, man, you know, I've been to a lot of places to eat a lot of different things. You guys have hit a home run. Like
Thank you.
I'm gonna call it. This is gonna be one of those Guy Fieri stops.
Yeah, I love it.
You watch.
Yeah.
Mark my words.
You know what? It could very well be.
It could. Well, it's because of the creativity. I'm drooling while I talk, right? But it's because of the creativity.
So
it's because of the quality.
Good, right?
I mean,
Delicious.
I don't think there's anything on these plates that I wouldn't like hoof down. Like, and you're on a diet.
Yeah, man, I've been struggling.
Like I see that's
So,
blowing my mind right now.
I tried most of the shakes before we opened the doors, but I started my diet 10 days prior to actually open the doors to the public. So since we opened the doors, I have not eaten a single shake. I have not tried
man.
it. So
And the poison's
it's
sitting right there.
it's
Your
right there.
temptation
It's like,
is sitting
man,
right there.
This looks so good to me right now. I just feel like going like this. Boop.
Oh man.
But yeah, it is what it is.
Don't worry, I'll take care of it for you.
Yeah,
You know,
we'll
I got
definitely
you.
handle it. For
People
you.
are like, oh, you should have a cheat day, and you should have a cheat day. I'm like, man, I've been cheating for 37 years.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. I can make a promise to anybody out there. The food is so good. You be careful because you're gonna walk out of here with a coma, like a food coma for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, between a torta and a shake. I mean, I agree with you. It's large enough because I know that you have families that come in and you know taking families out to eat can get expensive or whatever. You can have a meal like you just said, you know, split half a
Split
torta
that, yep.
each, half a shake, and get the taste of what this place has to offer. I mean, oh my gosh, like this is so amazing. You should.
Cool.
I'm telling you, I'm calling it now. Guy Fieri is gonna come here. He's
Yep.
gonna check out your place, and I can
I
see.
should shoot him a message.
You should, right?
Yeah.
and you know what? We're gonna send him our promo, the one that we're creating today, and we're like, dude, you need to check this place out.
Deal.
Right?
I like that.
And then I'm gonna make a second call. You're gonna open up one closer to Chula Vista.
Yes.
That's gonna be
That's-
my call here.
Yeah, we're actually talking about it. We're already looking into figuring out a way. I'm thinking maybe the Millennia Complex. You know,
Ooh.
right over there. It's all new. It's up and coming. I think that would be a great location for Chula Vista. The plan after we put it together, like I said, 6 months ago, I had no idea we were going to open up this restaurant. Today, I'm focused and I'm determined that we're going to take this place to Vegas, Miami, Hollywood. We're going everywhere.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
It's that's the vision.
I mean, just
you
the
know?
quality alone. I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you, you guys have a home run here. I'm so
Thank you,
glad
man.
you gave me the
Appreciate it.
opportunity to come out and share this with you guys.
I'm
or
super
share this
excited
with
that you guys made it out here. It's really cool. We've been talking about getting together for another podcast. We know we had one a while ago, but this is awesome that you guys came over here and allowed me to share kind of the dream and the vision and the startup of this place. And
Well, I mean,
we're
how
excited about
exciting
it.
was it? I was in your actual kitchen at your house.
Oh, that's right.
Trying different torta ideas,
Yep,
right? When
yep.
it was when a lot of stuff was just concept. So to
Yep.
come here and see the place completely done,
Yep.
to come here and try a menu item like this is good. Like if you're saying the mole fries are better than or more popular than this,
The mole fries is everybody goes crazy for those things.
I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, like this burrito torta.
Burritorta.
Burritorta. Okay, so this burritorta is bomb. I can't wait to try all the other stuff. I'm gonna have to make my way to El
the
Cajon.
cubana, and then we have the La Pinche Torta is actually really, really good too. That's arrachera. With
which is
arrachera is
what's
like flat
arrachera?
meat.
Okay.
Flat meat. It's very good quality meat. It's not carne asada. You know, it's like super high quality, good meat, nice and marbled with good amount of fat in it, so that it just has that
Juicy.
flavor.
Yeah.
Super juicy. And then we put it in a Diablo salsa with the avocado. It's just, man, it's so good.
A little hot and cool on top. Oh, dude.
So,
man.
But yeah, at the end of the day, man, I think it's one of those things that you come up with an idea, you have a little bit of a dream, and you're like, fuck it, let's do it, you know?
But that part right there, the fuck it, let's do it, the execution. Like, there's a lot of people who dream, who have aspirations, who think about things. But, you know, like my 17-year-old kids right now, and I'm teaching them to journal every day. Like, we take 10 minutes every day at the beginning of the day, and I have a prompt that they could use, but I tell them, write your dreams, write your thoughts, whatever you're stressing on, just let it out. And I'm trying to get it across to them. Right now, it's something they have to do. What I'm hoping is by the end of the year, it's something they want to do. It's something they want to do. Because, you know, taking an idea, putting it on paper is the first step to taking action on that dream.
100%. You're actually making a physical movement directly related towards that dream.
Yes.
Even if it's just taking pen to paper.
It doesn't matter. You've planted the seed.
You've already planted the seed, and it's the coolest thing when you do that, how it just kind of embeds into your brain and you see it a little bit more clearly. I always tell people, man, if you're thinking about buying, like getting yourself a boat, right? Maybe or a car, a particular car. Go to the dealership and test drive. Go to the boat dealer and hop on it and talk to the sales guy and let him know that you're just dreaming. Let him know, like, be fair to the sales guy. Don't be a looky-loo and waste their time, you know, either. But let him know, like, hey, I'm just here to dream. This is a goal of mine. I want to get one in a year, 2 years, whatever. But I want to see it, and I want to be able to just sit in it and smell it. It's okay. And then just be there, you know, and because then now you're like it's just like taking the pen to the paper. You're visualizing it a little bit more clearly.
You're starting to make it happen.
At that point, you're able to see it a little bit more clearly, and because you see it more clearly, you appreciate it so much more, and it just works.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, dreams can come reality. Look, if it wasn't for you taking action, I never would have put that in my mouth.
Yeah.
And you can run with that. That's what she said. And you can run with that. So I think that's a good way to end the show.
I think so, yeah. I think we're good. Because I'm hungry now.
We gotta get into this. Dig deep into this.
Ladies and gents, I'm about to put on some pounds.
Don't let those milkshakes melt.
Right? Thank you for letting us come over and share this with you. I mean, I'm looking
thank you
forward
guys
to
for
some
coming
of the
over,
things.
setting everything up. I really appreciate it.
When you open location 2, we'll be there.
Appreciate it. Yeah, for sure. No, we're gonna be, like I said, we're gonna go everywhere. This is not gonna stop in El Cajon.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It can't be stopped.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's one of those things that's too good not to share.
No. Yeah. Exactly. All right, ladies and gents. Thank
you everybody for
hopping
watching.
on this
Appreciate
show.
it. We're on this one. Okay.
We love you guys. That's all we got for you guys today. Peace.
Love you guys all. Take care. Boom. Come check it out.
And we're out.
Bye-bye.